What are we looking at today, guys? Well, we're going to look at this, the Kubey Monsterdog. Now, you're going to see it spinning around there so you can get a good look at it. This is a very interesting looking knife. It is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun carrying it. We're going to take a good close look at it. So let's look at the logo and then spin this around and look at it from above. Guys, like I said at the beginning, this is the Kubey Monsterdog. This thing is done in 20 CV and titanium. Not only is it unique, it is a lot of fun. It's got a very interesting look to it. There's a spec sheet right over here so you can see all of the stuff that is listed. We're not going to do any weight or anything because the batteries in my scale are dead. So we're pretty limited on just what they provide on there. Yeah, good looking knife. Let's first things first get some size comparisons out of the way. First knife you're going to see is the Forged Stinger, which is a very good size comparison because it's a fairly small knife, not real big. We got two small knives we're going to look at back to back. This is a really good size knife right here. You can see not a huge knife. Your next knife is going to be the CJRB Ria, which is another good small-sized gentleman's folder for comparison. As you can see, just about 1-for-1 on this, not a very big knife. I will talk about dimensions about this in a little bit because it does something really cool. So there you go, CJRB Ria. And your final knife, as always, is the large Sebenza 21 by Chris Reeve knives. So you can see, not a big knife overall. So let's get this out of the way and take a good look at this knife in general. So, like I said, this has been here for a while. It's been in and out of pocket for the better part of a month. Jared sent this to me. He told me he wasn't sure how I'd take it. I was kind of surprised how much I like this. First unboxing, I was like, wow, that's really weird looking. I did the first impressions, first day carry, and I was not like super impressed, but I also found a lot of good things about the knife. But over time, I found some good things. I found some bad things. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about the good stuff. So the good stuff. This knife is super comfortable in hand overall. In general, it has some things that we'll talk about later, but it generally has some really good things about it. As far as comfort in cutting, this thing is great. You've got a fairly broad, thick blade stock. It's CPM 20 CV, so you know you're getting a really good steel, super steel. And then it comes down to a really good edge. They have done a really good job thinning that out a lot. It's not great, it's not super thin behind the edge, but it's got good edge geometry in a cut. The nice thing about it is it's a full flat grind. Well, it's not full flat grind, it's a flat grind up to this spine. But the transition is not real steep. It's a nice thin. Even as thick as this is, they've done a good job transitioning this down. So it's a pretty good cutter. It's not super thin. I'm going to say this is probably, all right. I hate guessing because I knew I was going to be way off. Let's zero these out. I'm going to say, that's kind of what I was thinking, 0.023-ish. I thought it was going to be about 0.03-ish. It's a little bit thinner than I thought it was behind the edge. So it's not super thick behind the edge, but you've got a lot of thick blade stock, so you've got a really robust blade. The action on it is great. Thumb stud only, but you've got these huge thumb studs that come up and give you not only a unique look, but really good purchase on them. If you are in gloves, this thing is going to be great with thumb studs to a point. You have this unique looking blade that comes down. And the thing about it is I have found over the time that I've carried it, if you like a knife that you carry that you use in a pinch grip for doing stuff like this, that is like having a whole, it's like having a choil on the back. It really is. You can do cuts like this. I had a bunch of leather that I cut up with this, and I filmed it, and I was unhappy with how it filmed. But this is what I was doing with it. I was cutting leather in that grip right there, like a reverse grip, and that lets you have almost like a finger choil. If you're doing a lot of heavy-duty cutting, you can get, or not heavy-duty cutting, but like detail cutting, you can get clear up in there. Get your finger up on there and get your middle finger up in there, and you've got really good control. It's got a very unique sheep's foot blade shape right there. You've got a little bit of jimping here. You have got super good access to the lock bar. That is one of my favorite things about this. This would be a knife I absolutely recommend. If you work somewhere where you wear gloves all the time, this might be something you want to look at, because the fact is you have got such good access to that lock bar on these beefy handles that you can really have, there's no issue getting in there. As far as aesthetics, they did a really good job. A fine blast. They matched the titanium hardware all the way around with anodizing, the hardware backspacer, everything. No lanyard hole. They have provided you something I love, which is an option for everybody, which is a post inside your backspacer. Pocket clip on it is okay. It's got pretty good tension and everything like that. Lock bar tension on it is just about perfect. Your lockup is just at about 25% on this one. You're getting a lot out of this knife in hand. These big, so this is not a big knife dimensionally, but it is really thick and kind of broad. And if you've got big hands like me, that's something I love. It feels so good. You can get right up on that like this. See what I'm saying? And do some heavy cutting with this. This is amazing. If I was on the farm, this would be something too that I would use, because, you know, if you've got a horse that you got to do a little trim up on a hoof, or a cow that you got to do a little trim up on a hoof, you've got something here that you could use, not necessarily a hoof knife, but if you've got a spot that you've got a cracked hoof, you can clean up on that, which is something I definitely found kind of cool. Everything else about it is just pretty much standard. It's just a pretty much standard sheep's foot style knife. But it's just really unique looking. But as always, if you're being honest about things, no knife is perfect. Even the button lock I did the other day, which I think is probably the best button lock this year. If you're being honest about everything you see, you're going to find some bad stuff. So let's turn this around and look at some of the bad stuff. Now, there really isn't much, and a lot of it is stuff that can easily be corrected. Jimping on this is okay, but what they've done is you've got all this jimping that looks great here, and it's good jimping. I meant to mention that. It's good jimping. It's not too soft. It is really good jimping, but the second you open the knife, you lose a good portion of it. Almost half of that jimping is now like inaccessible. I'm not even touching the jimping till I get to here. So while it's good jimping, they've allowed it to drop underneath the angle of scales to a point where you're not touching the jimping till you get almost halfway. That's about the first point right there where you actually are touching the jimping to where it's effective. There is some jimping on here. I don't necessarily find this unattractive. I don't think that it really served a purpose, except for the fact it is kind of attractive. It catches the eye. I'm not a fan of jimping though as aesthetics, but the fact that it gives you some facets, but that is kind of just useless. Had they just maybe done a rock pattern or something on this and then polished it and then anodized it, maybe it would have been a little bit more attractive, but that really didn't need to be there. The actual thumb studs, while I was talking about them, they're great. You have these big thumb studs and stuff like that. If you don't get on them just right, if you've got big hands like me, you don't have a lot of room. So if you're trying to get on them, they're really flat to the scales, and you have to kind of come in at them from the front, which is not horrible. It's just a little awkward. It just feels like you change your grip a little bit. If they had been done to where I could just hold it, you know, just like that, and drop right in, as opposed to having to come back a little bit, not a big deal. But it just is a little tight if you got bigger hands. The pocket clip, here we go. The pocket clip is definitely hot spot-ish. If you are someone that has really soft hands, you may want to look at a different pocket clip for this, see if there's some different options. This pocket clip is kind of proud and kind of tall on what is already a pretty thick knife. On a thick knife like this, that does make them comfortable, but if you use just a standard tall pocket clip like this, you've now added a good bit of material. It does not bother me, but I can definitely feel it's there. It detracts from the comfort level of the knife a little bit. Not horribly, but just enough that I'm like, you know, I kind of wish it wasn't as tall. It is a good pocket clip in and out of pocket overall, though. And then one of the last couple things that I will say, they could have done a little bit better job right up here on the very front. Chamfering that, it's not super sharp, but just right there on that very front, it's pretty sharp. And then this, I like the way they did this lock bar, the material remover on the lock bar to set the spring tension. but it does catch on pockets because it's right under your pocket clip. If they had done this on the inside, had this been done on the inside, it would be great. It would be great if that was on the inside. And then the last thing is, even though they did some weight reduction, this is still a pretty heavy knife. I would have liked to have seen something in the way of maybe some more weight reduction in the blade, maybe a big fuller or something in here, or an aperture instead of a thumb stud might have reduced the weight. Because for a small knife, you saw that I think it was four point something ounces on the spec sheet. So not horribly heavy, but still it's a little heavy even with the weight reduction that they did. That's why I didn't mention the weight reduction in the beginning. So there's not a lot of bad stuff on this. It's a pretty good all-around knife. I really did enjoy carrying this. I'm going to get this sent back to Jared. But if you're looking for something like this, I'll make sure I find a purchase link and put it down, one of my affiliates down below. But yeah, the Kubey Monsterdog, it's just a pretty good all-around EDC carry. It has some goods, it has some bads. It's not on my top list. I do have to say, of all the things though, I find it intriguingly attractive. It's got this weird attractiveness to it that I do find odd, because it's not a pretty knife, but I do like it. Oh, last thing, that's right, I was gonna say, the blade to handle ratio. When you're dealing with sheep's foot blades and stuff like that, most makers will try to maximize the blade to handle ratio. I think that they could have gotten just a little closer to 1-to-1 on this, because the blade to handle ratio on this, it looks a little off. It's not bad though. So there you go, guys. Let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day. So there you go, guys. A lot of fun. I did enjoy carrying this. It is a very unique knife. I like a lot of things about it. Some things I didn't like as much. But we talked about that already. So guys, if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down, but please try to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you do hit the bell icon, make sure you got it set for all and turn notifications on your device. You will not get notified of all the things that I do every week. If you want to support the channel financially, however, there's a lot of ways you can do it. I pretty much am self-sponsored. There are a ton of affiliate links down below. Anything you purchase with those affiliate links does not cost you anything extra at checkout and goes directly to support the channel. As a matter of fact, I have several of my affiliates that have a built-in discount. Doll Strong Knives, who is going to sponsor some stuff on the channel, will offer you 10% off by using my coupon code if you're looking for kitchen cutlery or sharpening stones. Coffee Brand Coffee, some of the best coffee I have bought in a long time. It's what I drink here in the shop. Has a 5% discount if you use my link. The Atlas VPN link, I believe, still is 80% off through Thanksgiving. That's 2 years for $44 on the VPN I use. It's really good. I use it when I'm streaming and I use it when I'm playing games. And the final one that saves you is a 3% discount on domestic airfare at Airfare Consolidator. All of those affiliates are down below. Other ways you can do it, I have a membership that is tier-based. Everyone is allowed access to my Gilded server as long as you can follow the rules. The premium and baseline tier guys are entered into a giveaway that I do on the Gilded server. They're automatically entered, and the premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial here on YouTube that I've built for them. Several videos that walk you step by step through sharpening. And the final way is I have a merchandise store on Ember Shirt Co., or you can save 10% on my merchandise or anyone else's merchandise with the coupon code CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, where you can pick up my shirts or other content creators at a discount. So guys, that's it. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comments section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I will see you in the next video.